Hi everyone. Following on from my previous video where I shot a Firebird target in a canister, and I'll put a quick link up here, where I put a Firebird inside a canister. I was wondering if I can actually set two of them off at one go. So what I've got here is a piece of normal 2.5 inch 68mm waste pipe. What I've done is drilled holes in it in the centre, offset by about 3mm, one high, one low. There's a couple of holes in the ends as well. They'll become apparent later. And what I'm going to do is put some flange head self tappers into these holes in the lower holes first. So I've got 3 low ones and 3 high ones. We'll just tighten these up. That'll do. And there's the 3 self tappers in the tube there. What I did, I cut myself a 3mm thick steel disc. This was the first one that I cut, but it was too big. It was going to take far too much fining down. The idea is that it fits inside there, but as you can see, it doesn't fit. So I cut myself another one, drilled some holes in it, and I stuck a couple of Firebirds to it. On one side, one the other. And again, they're held in place with some flange head self tappers. I'm going to put this in the tube, like so. And I'm going to screw these other 3 self tappers in to hold the plate in the tube. This is just to stop the plate from bouncing out the front or the back. So just screw these in. It's not a very nice day today. It's rainy, it's sunny, it's windy, it's mild, and then it's cold. Very changeable. Okay, that'll do. So now we've got the Firebird plate in there, on one side and on the other. I hope that camera can pick that up. And what I'm going to do is, in this bag here, I have some very, very finely shredded cotton wool. You can see that. And I'm going to put some of that in one side of the tube. It's not going to be packed down, it's just going to be loosely put in. There's plenty of this stuff, like so. And here I have a bag of glitter, silver stars, gold stars, and I think there's some 18th birthday glitter in there as well. So I'm going to put a handful of that in, or a pinch of that in, so like that. That's what it looks like so far. I'm going to put a little bit more cotton wool on the top just to cover it. Nothing massive, just enough to cover it, like that. Here I've got a couple of discs that I cut out of a couple of targets of mine, and I'm going to put one of these in each end of the tube. I'm not going to push them down. This is purely just to stop everything falling out, and I'm going to put some tiny bits of blue tack around it, just to stop that disc falling out. Nothing major. So 3 little bits of that in there. And there we have one end prepared. And now I'll do the same with the other end. So once again, cotton wool. I'll probably edit this out because you don't really need to see what I'm doing on both ends. You know what I've done with one end, so I'm doing the same with the other end. There's a bit of cotton wool in there. The idea of this is that I'm hoping to hit one of the Firebirds, and I'm hoping that the impact will be sufficient to set the second Firebird off. No one knows, and I've not tried this before, but I'm hoping that the equilibrium of them both going off won't blow over the hairy arm stand as it did before. So once again, there we have that end of the tube. A little bit more cotton wool just to keep it in place. So, and the second disc, and a little bit more blue tack. A bit more than that, I think. It's getting rather cool. I may have to put a coat on shortly. And there's the second end of the tube. One end and the other end. What I'm going to do is to screw this to this piece of wood. Let's just move that blue tack out of the way. That's what these 2 holes on the ends are for. So I've got a couple of self-tappers here. I'll have one screwed to this end of the wood. You can find the hole. Now the reason I'm screwing this to a piece of wood is because previously I used G-clamps to hold the piece of wood in place. Unfortunately, with this shot, the G-clamps will get in the way of the exit of the pretty bits. So we'll just hold this down with those 2 self-tappers. Nothing serious, just to hold it in place, just to stop the tube from catapulting itself from anywhere. That'll do. So now we have the tube screwed to that piece of wood. We will then go and screw this piece of wood to the hairy arm stand, and I'll do that now. Follow me. So here we are. Screwed this to the hairy arm stand. As I say, originally I had G-clamps holding the first target in place, but the problem with G-clamps is that it means I'm going to have one in front of one of the exit holes, which I didn't particularly want. So I'm just going to screw this level with the stand. I think I should have piloted these holes first, a little bit on the tight side. But I'm sure it'll cope. I don't think it's going to go anywhere. There we go. And there we have it. There's one side of the target, and there's the other. So we'll take this down the garden. I won't bother taking any more video, but we'll take it down there, set it up, and we'll have a go at shooting again. Let's see how we get on. Right then, everything's recording. Let's see what happens to this shot. I've got cameras all over the place down there. I'll just take these end caps off. Let's see what we can see. Just take a zeroing shot at the top on his target. That'll do. Right, let's see if this works. Watch out neighbours, this is going to be bloody loud if it works. Here we go. That was loud. I'm not quite sure what happened there, but it was loud. Let's go and have a look. Take this magazine out. Fire this bag off. Ooh. Let's take this camera down there. Just reduce the legs a minute. That was incredibly loud. Oh God, what has happened? I think it's blown everything to bits. Ooh. Now that was interesting. Well, there's the disc. There's one of the targets. There's plenty of bits of cotton wool everywhere. Oh, there we go. Blowing everywhere in the wind. But overall, I think looking at the mess around the garden, if you look at this cotton wool, I think that was quite successful. I don't think I'll bother using that tube again. Oh well, that was another exciting shot. Let's just alright. Oh, there's one side. The other side didn't even go off. Oh, that's one for another day, I suppose. Huh. All I can say is don't use a piece of plastic tube to put a Firebird in. No. Let's see what that looks like. There's the weapon of choice. Just zoom out a little bit. That's my FX Wildcat Mark III. And there's everything in the garden. Thanks for watching.